What is up everyone, it's TK and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to dive into a strategy that I had brought to the game in Town Hall 15, but in Town Hall 16 and 17 it was a bit difficult to kind of go around with it because of the ricochet cannon and the multi-archer towers. But guess what? We're back with the Super BARCH and I'm gonna show you and give you a few tips and tricks for this strategy so you can be the best version of yourself after the nerfs that are coming to Clash of Clans. Now guys, there is obviously easier strategies than this one, but I know a lot of you have missed the super archer attacks and this is why we have this strategy today. So let's dive in and see this video. Now here we are, and of course one thing I want to also mention is that guys, I actually opened up my own membership on YouTube. I'm gonna link it down below and I'm gonna remind you again at the end of the video, but let's look at this base. Now we have two poison towers, we got amazing bomb tower placements, and the town hall, don't forget, it's going to rain poison on you, so watch out. And that's why I'm going in with this army with a free spell. Just because you can freeze sweepers, you can freeze poison towers and town hall poison. Now here we are and look at this. We're gonna land right before the wall. Once the wall breaker is done and it's opening the wall, you're allowed to clone. By the time the clone spell will hit the ground, the wall breaker will be dead. So that's why you're only gonna clone archers. Don't forget, don't clone goblins, okay? It's important. Now with the invisibility drops, it's not like Town Hall 16 and 15. Guys, if you drop it a bit late, Town Hall is gonna shoot on you. And unfortunately, that could kill your archers, but you know, it's not gonna slow them down. So you're at least gonna be fine, but not as fine as you may think. Now, I'm going to funnel these barbarians, and notice, on the top side, we did have a ricochet cannon, and the fire spitter was actually pointing to that direction, the right one. So I didn't enter from the top side, and now we're going from the left side, whereas we can get into the compartment. Now, this little tip right here is with the ricochet cannons that I'm gonna give you. Let it shoot your main army. Don't go with too early of the barbarians on the side of the base. You can see, like with these two barbarians, we can easily take down those two defenses. But the ricochet cannon on the left, I'm gonna give it time. Once it's locked down to a heavy HP kind of troops like Titan or King, then we're gonna go in with the RC and of course the barbarians to help narrow down our path through the base. Now the single inferno, as you can see, it's a bit isolated, so that's why we got extra wall breakers in case you need to open more compartments. Notice the warden ability, I wanted to keep the electro titan and the king ability intact to go ahead and leave it for the back end of the base around the area where it's actually more necessary. Now we're diving into the next ricochet cannon, where again you let it shoot the main army, which is the main heroes. Basically you have no army in this strategy. If you're new to Super BARCH, you are basically diving in the base and outside of the base with all your heroes. You're just pathing it and narrowing down the path, and you can see how we are sniping an enemy hero on the outside of the base. Simply, I dropped an archer on the edge of where the hero targets. That means if there is walls around it, it will actually step on the other side of the wall. That's when you can tank it with the barbarians and kill it with the headhunters. Next up, we got this base, and there's a core rage tower. This was one of the bases that was meta in the last season, and we are seeing it on this one. But let's see on how I'm going to get this base. Now I'm going from that area where there was that giga bomb. It's obviously not going to do much, but I'm going with the freeze on the sweeper on this attack. Don't forget, look at the invisibility spell. The first one is important because it's going to make the path for you to drop your clones, rage, and the second invis. Now we are cloning to the top side. Unfortunately, one thing you need to watch out is the skelly and of course the archers or goblins from the clan castle. In case your archers locked onto them, make sure, if you can make them invisible altogether, go for it. But if you can't, make sure you make those main group invisible because it's important. Now I didn't get the perfect value that I was looking for, but the value is still there. It's amazing. Now we did make a funnel. I'm going with the warden, raid gem, and of course king with the regular equipment. If that spiky ball gets a lot of heavy nerf later on in the year, because maybe that earthquake is still good, this strategy doesn't really take that. Like usually you get the core with the super archers, or if you don't, you can open the core and get it with your queen and king. The king's earthquake and spiky ball is not necessarily to kill the core or destroy everything. It's just to open the walls for your queen. So now notice my wall breakers. I wanted to get into the core without the king ability yet being used because I didn't know how long the king can stay alive in these town hall compartments. There is a lot of damage and I'm trying my best to go ahead and also tank for the scatter shot on that compartment, let alone the rest of the base. Now we have the warden ability that I really wanted to get the king and these headhunters. I'm just noticing right around this time is that where I popped it. So you can see, clip the king in your warden ability. It's important, guys. Now, from the top side is usually when you always want to drop the RC around where the army is. Otherwise, sometimes there may be heavy defenses on the other side of the base. If you are low on time, you need to watch out and drop the barbarians. Keep an ice golem maybe to drop in front of your RC. And a lot of you who have done Super BARCH in the past, back in Town Hall 15 and early in Town Hall 16, you know how this army works. You basically know everything about it. I have a lot of you here that used to be my students and I used to teach you guys. I had a lot of guides, my Legends League videos, but mainly, I'm trying my best to give you all the tips I can in these 4 attacks today. But if you have any questions, leave it down below and obviously I'm going to be able to answer to every single one of you. Of course, always clean up, keep 1 or 2 super barbarian, keep 1 headhunter. I didn't see the king at the end, so that's my mistake. Usually, if you make a bit of a mistake, usually comes down close to time, so you need to watch out. But let's move on to the 3rd hit. Now here we are on a base that has a core rage tower and a poison tower. Now usually on these bases you can't really blimp the poison tower, and at the same time the town hall doesn't give you too much value, and if you do get that value, well, it's risky with the town hall poison and you don't really want to spend the freeze just yet. If you want, it's fine, but it's just about that, is it worth it? So now what I do on these bases is I get 1 full entire side. That means not too deep, not the core, not the town hall, but just a full side of the base. This will give us a heavy funnel for our troops and heroes basically to go fully opposite side of the town hall and finish on the town hall. Look at what we are getting with the super archer value. It's just this entire side of the base that is gone. Now notice, the town hall doesn't have the poison anymore. If there was no monolith in front of the town hall, I would suggest you, and personally I would also start into the town hall. But because there is a monolith, if you're new to this strategy, if you don't pay too much attention, the monolith might lock onto your king or titan, and for the rest of the base, you are quite cooked. You need some perfect wall breakers. And as I said, if you're new to the strategy and you're new to pathing and narrowing down paths for your heroes, you're gonna struggle. So don't worry, start opposite side. You're always gonna make it to the town hall. And if you don't, you always have the RC for the backup. Now, notice I did have regular wall breakers in this army. As you saw from one of the attacks, I used them to open up a certain compartment. But now, with the extra ice golem on the left, I made sure we kill the queen, tank the ricochet cannon just enough time, and also get the funnel done on the left side so my king doesn't go to the outside. A few wall breakers making the pathing amazing. Once the ricochet cannon again locked to the main army, I go with the warden ability and I go with the super barbarians. Simple as that. Again, I add DRC because if you add DRC on the right side, there is enemy king and a monolith. You don't really want to add her too early, otherwise it's gonna be bad. Now notice, on this army, I actually have a healer puppet and the regular invisibility vial. Just because with the triple queen, if there is skeleton spells, if there is a clan castle, if there is something annoying, guys, your queen will struggle. Trust me. I'm still going with the invisibility vial like we used to back in Town Hall 15 because it gives you that heavy hitting damage and the queen goes invisible. Sometimes you need walls to be broken. She can take down the walls with 5 shots in like 2 seconds. It's important to know that ability can save your attacks. Here we are on a double invisibility base, and of course it's early in Legends. This is not the perfect base and it's not really designed as well, but I wanted to show you what to do against these bases. And usually, if you can't go too close to the town hall, go for it. But look, we landed on the town hall poison and he hit us again. So that means we're gonna lose the archers that we invested at the beginning from our clan castle. But if you clone a bit later, that means your new archers will be alive for the rest of your invisibility spell. So you can still get a decent value, you can still get the funnel, and it's nothing too crazy. Now notice, again, on this attack, we do have 2 options to choose from. Starting to the ricochet cannon or starting to the enemy queen. This one, again, as I said, I rather start into the other stuff than the ricochet cannon. But unfortunately, one thing is that the funnel isn't set as perfect, so that means the queen would eventually end up going to the ricochet cannon and enemy king. So now I'm going with a separation RC drop. This is an emergency drop, guys. It's basically something that was not planned, but because you cannot afford the queen to go other direction than your king, you need to go with the RC drop. You just need to do a bit of multitasking, keeping the RC alive and keeping your main troops alive with the warden ability and providing that tanking for the RC. Popping that RC ability, of course, with the Hog Puppet and that the ability that she has, like the boots, electro boots. It's not the best if you're dropping, you can see by herself, and we had P.E.K.K.A.s in the Clan Castle. They just cooked my RC, but notice I'm trying my best to take down the enemy RC on the outside. It's unfortunate we didn't have the headhunters, but don't forget, it's not Town Hall 15 or even 16. The Warden itself, the hero, it's not a tower anymore. You're always gonna have 4 heroes in the attack. You need 1 headhunter for each at least, if you don't take down a single one of them with your super archers. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously this strategy was a lot used even back in the World Championship of Town Hall 15, and it was amazing to see those teams use it, and I wanted to give it a go and bring it in a way so everyone can use it again with the super archer and all those super archers attackers out there. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. But guys, as I said, I opened up my own membership and it's quite cheap, and it's gonna have 4 bases built by me per week that you can get. So if you're interested, again, the link will be down below in the description, or you can tap the join area of the channel next to the subscribe so you can see all the details from there. There's going to be a Discord channel that I put, and it's going to be a few channels there that are for the members only. Let me know down below what you think about this strategy and how you're going to use it, if you're going to use it, and stay tuned because we're going to have some interesting season coming very, very soon. Take care and peace.